Hello and welcome to today's live stream. Now, I've got a few things to explain because I did say that I would be live yesterday and I ended up not being live. I did post it on my Twitter, the reason, but in the off chance that nobody's seen it, for whatever reason, I wasn't live because I went to the book event, which I originally thought was on the uh, Tuesday, which was the second. Turns out it was actually on the third. The library event was so badly organised, I went on the second and found out it was actually a 3 day event. I'd already missed the first day, and there was nothing that I was wanting to see or take part in on the second day. So that left the third day, which was yesterday, and it was pretty good yesterday. I was surprised at how many people turned up to the book talk thing because it wasn't exactly like a book group where you have the same book. It was just everybody come and genuinely talk about books, what you've read recently, what kind of stuff you like, what kind of stuff you don't like. Just anything to get a conversation going, really. Um, and of course, today I'm having technical difficulties with my live stream. So everything is all the wrong size, and I had issues with my mic, which is why, as of right now, I've got a past broadcast of just the stream starting. Um, anyway, so that's why I wasn't live yesterday, and I'm not doing Ratchet and Clank today. Partly because I wanted to update you about that and a few other things. Um, One being, I have about 6 days until I next meet up with the book group book that I co-run with somebody. Um, I'm like the second if somebody can't actually run the session. The person who normally kind of picks the book and um, does the kind of behind the scenes stuff. If they're not able to run a particular session for whatever reason, that's when I would step in. So um, I'm feeling huge pressure to get the book finished, which is Wendy Darling by A.C. Wise, which is essentially a sequel to J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, and it how can I describe it? Well, it's a lot darker than what Peter Pan is, even though Peter Pan does have an undercurrent of like um, danger, and like there's that one line in Peter Pan where um, Peter thins the boys out, implying that he kills them. At least that's how I'm taking it. So there is a dark undercurrent to Peter Pan and what Peter Pan actually is, um, because I've heard that he's actually this guiding spirit to take kid. Excuse me. Yeah, he's the guiding spirit to take kids who've died in childbirth or um, really young to Neverland, which is like essentially heaven. Um, that's kind of the subtext to Peter Pan that not a lot of people seem to know. Um, then again, I could just be reading way too much into it. But yeah, Wendy Darling is a very dark sequel. Essentially, it wipes out her family life because it said after the events of Peter Pan, and Wendy cannot let go of the fact that Neverland is real. It's real to her, and it's real to anybody who's read the original book. Um, and her brothers get sick of her. Um, they grow up, end up going to war because it's set round about the Second World War for the most part. It does jump backwards and forwards in time between, um, well, you, you see Jane in Neverland, who is Wendy's daughter, who doesn't remember her name when she's in Neverland, even though it's not yet explained why that is, and I don't think it ever is going to be explained. But I'm thinking that because Wendy ends up in a mental institution, and of the time period that this book is set, um, once you were in those kind of environments, you didn't really get out of them. Um, I have been told that she actually does get out of the mental institution, so I've kind of been spoiled for that. Um, but I do want to read for myself exactly what goes on. The next chapter, however, is 30 pages. Yesterday, before going to that book event, I read a chapter which was 10 pages. That took me 40 odd minutes. So, the 30 pages, that's going to take me well over 2 hours to read. And I've only got these 6 days in order to finish the book. And, well, you can see for yourself, I've still got quite a good chunk of the book left. So, I'm kind of feeling like I need to focus on getting that done so I can have a good discussion when that day comes to actually talk about the book. Um, so that's why I'm not doing my game live stream today. Um, I would normally do a live stream on a Saturday with my friend Shadow. He can't do it this week, and I was gonna have my other half fill in, but as I'm needing to focus on getting this read, I'm thinking I might just take that as like a day of not doing any reading whatsoever. Sorry, reverse that. I'm gonna take Saturday as my day of only reading and not doing anything else. Um, and also, um, just to keep everybody up to date, um, from the 17th to the 22nd, I'm going to be with my other half, so I'm not going to be live streaming at all during that week. So essentially, I don't know when I'm going to be doing my next proper live stream. Um, Best to just think of this live stream as like an update until I get back to my normal of doing a game live stream practically every day. Um, this is kind of why it's really difficult to turn doing this into a living because there's so much stuff going on that I'm trying to fit in, and it just doesn't always work. And I mean, I would love to get to the point where I can do my live streaming and earn enough money to live off of. That would be awesome. Um, I know some people that do that, and they do crazy long live streams, and even they, after doing like a 9 hour live stream, sometimes they don't get any donations whatsoever, and um, they let the um, audience know like how disheartening that is, and I feel bad because I can't donate, but I can't donate because essentially the only money I have coming in is my disability money. Um, and that's more or less took up by my usual outgoings. So yeah, I'd love to be able to do my live streaming as my job essentially. Um, Not just to be able to donate to other people, but to be able to kind of support myself. Because I'm currently living at my mum and dad's house, um, and quite frankly, I've been well and truly informed that like this is their house and I'm essentially living here rent free. You know, playing that whole guilt card. I don't pay rent, that is true. I did used to pay rent, which was £50 a month. I stopped paying that and I now pay for two utilities. I'm paying for the internet and I'm paying for our Sky TV, which I was told by my dad would be me paying for utilities. Turns out, in a moment when he was angry at me, um, he actually doesn't see it that way. He sees it as I'm paying for luxuries. Well, in that case, if I stop paying for the internet, he can't do any of his stuff, and he tends to sit on his phone pissing about. I mean, yeah, okay, there's mobile data as well that he could pay for off his own back, but like, I know he's connected to my internet, and I'm saying my internet because I'm the one paying for it. Um, so yeah, like we have that kind of thing going on, and whilst it's currently not causing an argument, the fact that he said that to me, that's enough to kind of make me feel like shit about my situation. I don't have a job in the traditional sense. I consider my live streaming to be my job, and it would be great if I could actually get a audience for what I do. It's just I can't get into the rhythm of having a regular live stream or schedule because my disability gets in the way half the time. And if it's not my disability, it's other things like the book group or um, just the fact that I'm living at my parents and I have to do the live streams when they're not in order to guarantee that I won't be interrupted because the room that I'm in it also houses the hot water tank. So that means my mum is the main one who would be in and out all the time, putting things in the hot water tank to dry from the residual heat from that cupboard because it does get incredibly warm in my room, which isn't ideal for doing live streaming and gaming. So I do tend to have my window open to kind of compensate for that. Um, but yeah, the fact that I'm having to factor in all of this stuff, it's getting in the way of me being able to support myself because I can't get that routine um, guaranteed thing that I'm going to be doing a live stream at whatever time. The only one that I can guarantee would be at 6 o'clock is the live stream on a Saturday, and that's purely because Shadow has to do it from 6 because he's got to factor in way more care stuff than what I have to on his disability side of things. So 6 till 7 is the only time slot where he's available. So it has to be that. And that's kind of forcing my parents to change their routine because my mum is like of the mindset we have to eat together every single time. I would much rather just be left a meal prep meal that I can warm up whenever. Either have it before I do my live stream or do it afterwards, you know. Um, but again, it boils down to their roof, their rules. So while it's a pain in the butt that I don't have a regular audience um, or regular donations, which I am completely thankful of that one donation that I have got. Um, it's just I can't exactly live off of that, can I? I would like to get my own place one day and have really good internet, and then just live stream as and when I want. Um, and just get myself in a routine. But I honestly don't see a way out of the situation that I'm in. I really don't, apart from doing regular live streams, and I can't do them regularly in the sense that it's the same time every single thing. So like, I have had a schedule down below, um, where I tried to do it each day, and like it just didn't work because then I found myself struggling to get up and get myself ready in time to do the live stream, because of my disability. Getting myself dressed, there's no guarantee that it's going to take the same amount of time. Sometimes it can take 20 minutes, sometimes it can take 40 minutes. That's a big difference when you factor in I haven't even had food by that point. Factor in going to make food and then eating the food, you're looking at like an hour to an hour and a half past by the time I'm actually ready to do the live stream. And so it's it's really difficult on a disability standpoint to do regular live streams in the sense of it's the same days, the same times. Um, I could probably do it the same days, just slightly different times. That's why at the moment when I do them, I try and do it within a certain time window. So like anywhere between um, 10 o'clock and 11, I aim to be live. And well, I'm actually live today way earlier than that because I've been so focused on I need to get this live stream done, and then once this live stream is done, I can go and focus on this, which at at the moment, reading this is kind of taking priority over everything else because well, normally it wouldn't, but because it's Peter Pan related and it's a book that I care about a lot, I really went into this book um, with like trying to follow the timeline to see if this book fits really nicely in with the timeline of the original book. And do you know what? It really does. There is a second one that AC Wise has done called Hooked, and I kind of want to pick that up, but what's putting me off is the fact that there's no audiobook for this one, and if there's no audiobook for this one, there's no audiobook for Hooked either. Why? Audiobooks are great. Not only does it mean that you can get through a book and do more stuff at the same time, it also helps with dyslexia, which I have. It also helps with visually impaired people so they can access books because not everybody likes to read Braille. I know of one person who actually prefers it, but the library, um, when she was attending the book group, they would supply her the audiobook because it was just easier for her. Hey, thanks for popping on. I was just saying, um, I'm not gonna be live very much after today. I've just got so much on. Um, if you want to watch the live stream afterwards to see why, um, that would be awesome. But I'll give you the quick version of it. Um, this book I've got 7 days to finish before the book group, so I'm really wanting to focus on getting this done. And I've got like still about half of it to go, and I've got like 6 days to read it. And it's a really dense book in terms of how much stuff it gives you. Um, for example, yesterday I read 10 pages and it took me half an hour. This next chapter is like 30 pages, so I'm kind of scared at how long it's gonna take. Um, okay, you can watch it back, cool. Um, well, I really wish that I could do the game live stream and still listen to the audiobook, but as there isn't an audiobook, I can't do that. Um, but I'm glad that you've been able to come on um, while I'm live. So what's new with you? I literally haven't stopped talking since I went live like 22 minutes ago. I don't even think I actually took a breath, to be honest. Well, there must be quite a bit of a lag between when I say stuff and. Ah, oh, come on. Put me on a really good server for once. Well, I suppose before I do go, I can tell you I've got a new film to watch. Well, it's new to me anyway. It's actually from 1932, and it stars Bela Lugosi, which you probably know from the original Dracula from 1931. Funny enough. Um, I haven't watched this yet, but I really want to get all of his movies, and I believe this is my first Criterion, to be honest. Um, everybody rants and raves about Criterion being like the best for picture quality and um, like having a load of extras. And honestly, I don't think this one has that much in the way of extras. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's still cool to have anyway. I'm thinking that this is going to be the end of my live stream because I really want to get on to reading that book, and I've kind of said everything that I needed to say. So I'm really sorry that it's such a short live stream, and I'm probably not going to be live for about a week or so. But yeah, feel free to watch this back to get all the information because I did just kind of word vomit it all out. Um,